Let's see if Facebook works today. Okay, so it looks like it's connecting. And so let's see. Yeah, let's see if the Facebook page goes today. So I don't know if you noticed, but I changed my camera position again. So I'm not looking up so much. I'm looking more directly down here. Okay. So if you're watching a recording, do fast forward about 2 minutes. We're starting early and getting all our technology in place today. We're going to be doing a quickie today on polishing. So my personal page did not come up again. All right, well, I'll have to work on that. Seriously? Let's go to... Yeah, I think it lost it somewhere along the line. I don't know. I said I don't know why it's not doing it, so we'll see. We shall see. So we're going to start here in just a minute for everybody who's joining us. We're finishing up the Step-by-Step Surprise Radiant project today. Just shut down and start over. I can't help you on Twitch, babe. Let's see. So I'm opening up a chat window. Let's see if my chat works. Again, we're going to start here in just a minute. Andy's struggling a little bit on Twitch. Going to see if he can get that up and running. I do show connected. Whoops. There we go. So give me a shout out if you're on Twitch and let me know that you can see this. Okay. Okay, so everybody here is saying that Twitch is working. So, no, just let it go. It's fine. Okay, well, I can see what they're saying. So, again, or just shut down your browser and bring it back up. I'm talking to Andy if you're wondering what's going on. We'll start here in just a second. He's struggling to get Twitch up and running. So I'm having him shut down his browser and restart. You know, a lot of times if you're from... I'm sorry, a lot of times if you're struggling with Twitch, the best thing to do is just go ahead and restart Twitch, if not the whole entire browser. So hello from the Poconos. Yay. It's been a long time since I've been out there. So, Facebook users, if you're saying hi right now, Andy is rebooting and all I see is you're a Facebook user. So I don't know who just said hello, but hello. Hello back. Okay, so Andy's back up and running, and it looks like he's back up on Twitch. Yay! Okay, so we're starting just a hair late today because Andy was sort of struggling with getting Twitch and Facebook up and running, but we are indeed up and running. So hi everyone, today is Wednesday, March 3rd, and this is Q Talk Live. I'm Q Fong Grace, if you didn't know that, and we're simulcasting today on 3 channels because apparently my personal Facebook page is not working. So we're on the Q Talk Facebook page, on Twitch and YouTube. So thanks for coming in and hanging out. Andy is working feverishly to get all the little links up on what we are doing today. So this is part 2 of Step-by-Step Surprise Radiant. So last week we made this, and this week we're going to go ahead and set the stone. I'm going to show you how to set the stone, and then we're going to polish it. So that's the goal. What will you need today? Well, some sort of a setter. This is a V-Groove prong setter that you can use, something I like to use. You can use a prong setting plier also, okay? You can also use a square bezel pusher. So don't care for that. I think that the V-Groove works really well. And frankly, if you don't have one of these, you should just go ahead and get one because they're only like $4 or $5. They're pretty inexpensive, and it's a great little tool to have in your arsenal, and a lot of bang for your buck. By the way, all these items are available at theurbanbeater.com. The other thing that you'll need today is you're going to need some polish because we're going to high polish this, not just doing the steel wool thing. But I take the time out and show you that. And so some polish. I like to use Euroluster. However, if you prefer Tripoli or what is it? Zap? No, what is that? Oh, I can't think of what is it. Anyway, there's other polishes. It will work too, or polishing compound. Those will also work. You'll need a muslin wheel if you don't have a big buffing wheel. I don't have a big buffing wheel because I don't have the footprint for it. So, but this works just fine. I'm going to put this on the flex shaft. And then I also have a brass cup brush. Zam, thank you. I see that. So is the other polish. But in any case, so I also have a brass cup brush, which is one of my new favorite tools in my arsenal. You can use this on your flex shaft, or you can use a brass brush. Either one will work, but it gets everything started, and it's a nice first step to polishing. Okay, so let's jump right in. So I'm just going to add this, insert my brush into my flex shaft to start with. Okay. And what it does is it's going to take all of my silver oxide off of the piece. Silver oxide is that white, sort of like that white layer that your silver turns into after you have been torching on it and after it's come out of the pickle. So it doesn't look like a bright, shining silver piece. It looks a little bit on the white side, right? So the way to get rid of that is to burnish it. Burnish it means, push down push down on the metal surface to create a polish. All right. So here, I'm going to take out the stone. And the reason why I'm going ahead and doing this first is I want to make sure that the inside of my setting is polished, because then it'll give this nice reflective value to my stone because I'm using a clear stone. And I'm just going to run this gently everywhere. And you can see that there. I'm going to, actually here, let me zoom in just a little bit more so you can see what's going on. Okay, so you can see how it's white down here and it's already starting to polish up on top. So I'm going to hit everything with this, just gently. Just make sure all the surfaces are clean. Just like so. If you have any nicks, make sure that you take it out with some sandpaper, right? And you're going to work your sandpaper from 400 to 500 to 600. There we go. So the question is, should you use water? I don't. I know some people like to do that, but I don't. I never have. I'm not completely clear what the advantage is there because it's always worked just fine for me here. All right. So I'm going to go right inside. I'm going to go right inside of that bezel setting, and you can see it's starting to come up already, just like so. Okay, that's good enough for me. So the question is, any tips on keeping the brass bristle from flying, and if there's a brand that I prefer. Frankly, I just use the one that we carry, and so I really don't think that there's a brand that would change this at all. Okay, as far as the bristles flying, you know what? You need to wear goggles. I forgot to mention, you need to wear goggles when you're doing this anyway, or eye protection. It's the nature of the beast. This is what happens. But it's a great little tool. It's inexpensive and it gets you right to the point. All right, so here I'm going to go ahead and put my stone in, and I'll do the final polishing after I set my stone because I don't want to work hard in the prongs, okay? So the question is, do I notice that the brass bristles impart a gold color onto the metal? Yes, okay, that does happen if you are too aggressive with the brush. You know, I have a tendency to get really aggressive when I'm using one of these. So just back off a little bit and be a little bit more gentle about what you're doing. That would be most helpful. Okay, so here we're going to set the stone in, and you want to make sure that it's level and even. I'm going to hold that there, and even to all the prongs, right? There you go. And then we're going to just start setting these. So you want to work in cardinal points just to sort of get it in there and nice and even. You don't want to push it all the way. You just sort of want to tighten it a little bit. If my head gets in the way, sorry. Can't see from up there. So I'm just going to push this in. And I'm literally just pushing it in from the sides just a little bit and to tighten it into place, okay? So I'm going to put my prong setter in there. Ooh, just like so, just a little bit at a time. Again, working in opposite directions until, see what I did there? I pushed a little too hard and it pushed my stone out. So I'm going to put it back in place. I'm going to hold it up and make sure it's nice and level, and it is. And then I'm going to go to another prong. Again, you just want to put it in just a little tiny bit, like so. And get it in place. Again, we're just tightening it in place. We are not quite setting it yet, okay? If you have a prong setting plier, another way to do this is to pull out your pliers. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more interesting to show because I'm used to having this up at my face, right? So what you want to do is you want to put it in the opposite prong. You see that? The curve. And then this one on this side will go to this prong here. Again, I'm used to doing this in my face and not quite on the table. And we're going to push it in just a little bit. It's a great little tool. It makes life a lot easier. And it's even easier to do. And what's nice about this is it keeps it really level. It's like so. And I'm going to keep tightening it in opposites until the stone is snug. And these are pre-seated settings, which is great. Okay. If when you buy this, if you buy the setting and it's a little too small, just push them out a little bit. It should work, okay? So the question is this curved jaw under the basket. Now let me turn it sideways and see if I can show you. So the jaw is right there, basically at the base of the prong. Can you see that? And like so, okay? Okay, so now, you see it's not coming out. See that? I'm gonna check it and see. What I'm looking at is I'm looking at it from the side to see that it's nice and level, okay? And it is. So now that it's level and it's in there fairly snug, I'm going to push it all the way over. So now you want to get that prong to set pretty much over the stone and grab that stone really nice. Just like so. And you want to keep working that until it is in. Okay. So really, you're setting this in just a couple minutes and it's done. Let's see how did we do? We did okay. All right, so right now I'm checking to see that my prongs are touching my stone accordingly. And if I feel like I need to push it in just a little bit more, I'm just going to take out this little groove, notched groove, what do you call this? V-groove pusher. And I'm just going to push it over. Just like so. Just a little bit more. Just to tighten it. You know, you don't want this thing to fall out. You just want a good tight setting, just like so. And I'm just going around and double checking everything because I can. Did I move up higher on the second pass? Yes. Now, because the, let me show you. It'd be easier if I show you. All right. Let's see, I need a pen. Whoops. Okay, so you have your stone like so, and then you have your setting, right? So now you want it to come down. You want this setting to come down to the stone and not sitting up. So yes, your pusher is going to come over the top just to make it sort of hook it like in a certain way. You see that? So there you go. Now, if you have any sharp edges on your prongs, like on top, you can file it or sand it carefully so that you can take those sharp edges off. Or you can take a cup burr, a really small cup burr, and you cup burr those prongs and make that really nice, and that will give it a finishing touch. So that's it. That's setting the stone. So let's go ahead and polish it some more. So it's still a little bit dull, as you can see. So we're going to have a nice before and after here. I'm going to switch out my my brass cup brush, brass cup brush. And we're going to put in the muslin wheel. And another thing too is if you have a new muslin wheel, what's going to happen is you're going to have lint flying all over the place, which is okay. I mean, it is what it is, you know. We can't keep everything clean, right? But what you might want to do is you might want to get yourself a hood or something and put your hands inside there to trap all the lint. All right, so now I'm just going to run this on some polishing compound, like so. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit all my silver surfaces, like so, until, you see, it's already really nice and polished. It's coming up. You can see the difference between here and here. So the question is, with the prong pushing pliers, is the long flat part pushing the prong and the hook the brace? The answer is yes. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my time, and you know what? I'm going to save my hands here. I'm going to put on a pair of gloves. I always forget that. See, gloves will save your manicure. I know, I should use it more often. Now, a key here is when you're using the muslin wheel, you do need to get aggressive, but you don't want to get so aggressive that you are compounding or melting the polishing compound into your wheel. Okay, so but you do need to get aggressive, because if you're just barely touching it, you're not doing anything. So you got to make sure you get aggressive enough, but not so aggressive that it's getting hot on you, or else your muslin wheel is going to turn into this hard thing of wax. All right, so I'm just going to hit everything like so. By the way, we still have 2 kits left if you are interested. One in green amethyst and one in citrine. So of course I'm going to go ahead and do the back too and make everything nice and pretty today. Like so. And I knew this was going to be really quick today, so I'm going to do another polishing project here once I'm done with this. Now, if your piece is turning black, that's really just the polishing compound working. So you will want to put this either in an ultrasonic cleaner or take out some Dawn liquid soap with your brass brush and wash it under some water. And it'll all come up. See, like you can see, maybe you can see that black spot there. That's just polish. No big deal. Give it a really good I want this to be a really, really high polish. So I'm going around a couple times and I'm making sure all my surfaces, I'm hitting all my surfaces. Again, just making sure everything makes contact with my muslin wheel. Just like so. And I'm getting inside of here too. And I'm just churning my wheel as needed to make sure everything gets hit. Of course you can do this by hand, it's just going to take longer. That's all. Yep, pretty happy. Pretty happy. Oop. Oh, did you see that? Oh, don't do that. My my glove got caught in my flex shaft. Oops. Okay. I just want to get this one spot and then I'm gonna move on. Killing me. Okie dokie. There we go. Okay, that's it. That's your final piece on Step by Step Radiant. I hope you liked it. Okay, and then all these little black spots that you see on here, I'm gonna wash under the sink with some Dawn liquid soap because I don't have an ultrasonic cleaner. So next up, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more piece. You guys have seen this before. If you haven't registered for Virtually Ever Crafting yet, you still can. This is one of the Virtually Ever Crafting projects that we have coming up in April. Now, this piece is called Duet, and I'm working along with Sully Girardi. She's going to show you how to do the base in metal clay, and with fabrication, we're going to set the stone. So, I was just noticing this morning when I was getting set up how white this piece is on camera. I'm like, it would look a lot better if I went ahead and oxidized it. So I'm going to oxidize this, show you how to do that, and polish it. Okay. Ooh, sorry, wrong direction, wrong zoom. So, big news in the industry. I don't know if you guys, by the way, I'm using Black Max to oxidize this. I don't know if you all saw my post or the post somewhere else, is that Bead Fest in the greater Philly area has officially been canceled for August. I know, we're all a little sad about it, right? So, well, all I have to say is you can still look forward to Virtually Ever Crafting. We're going to start planning that for September. So, I know we all miss doing in-person classes, but at least it's an alternative for now. There we go. So I'm just painting on some Black Max. I'm not liver sulfuring this because I really prefer Black Max on silver because it gives a much, much more intense look. Okay. So I'm just brushing it on like so. And I'm going to brush everything today because I want a really nice high contrast. So for those of you who are in the Pottstown, Pennsylvania area, I'll be at Studio 36 next week doing classes. So there's still some time to register for classes. So if you feel safe, do come with a mask because I will, and join us for a couple classes. Lots of different little classes going on. I know some of you have missed some of my old classes and never got a chance to take them. Well, this is an opportunity to sign up for like the Twinkle Twist. I know it's been going on for a while, Twinkle Twist, but it's still popular and it's still relevant. So let's keep doing it. There we go. So it's going to be in person only and no virtual involved with that. However, if you're looking for some of the older classes, Stephanie Chavez is doing a hybrid model when I am there in May, and we're doing both virtual and in person. So for those of you who won't be traveling all the way out to Salt Lake, you can sign up for the virtual part. So it's a bit of a hybrid thing, and it works. So I'm taking my time right now, and I'm just oxidizing all of the silver. As you can see, slowly but surely the transformation happens. And I know you've heard me say this before, but for those of you who haven't heard it, know that when these patinas do have a shelf life. So if your patina is not working or making funky colors to your metal, it's probably outlived its shelf life, okay? So it's time to get something fresh going. So I've got just about everything in there done. Just like so. Okay. Now, this is acid, so try not to get it on your fingers. It's not a good thing. But you do want to make sure that you wash this in some clean water. I have a bowl of water on the side here, and I'm going to give it a good dunk because the water will neutralize your acid. If not, it will keep working, okay, which is not a good thing. And we're going to dry this really well. So 2 ways to approach this, actually probably more than 2 ways, but several ways to approach this. First, we can use a pro polish pad. Some of you are familiar with this, some of you aren't, but these are great. They bring the polish up really well, really quickly. And you know, I went ahead and pulled out a very worn pro polish pad to show everybody that, you know, you don't just throw it away when it looks like this. It's still working. Look at that. And this is one way to polish it up. So I'm going to start with this, and then I'm going to hit this a little harder with my muslin wheel just to give it a really, really, really brilliant shine. But this ring is coming up so nicely. Just like so. You know, I used to love pro polish pads. I had a friend who loved it so much she went around her house and started using it on all of her all of her silverware and stuff. It's sort of funny. But they worked really well. Okay. Nice, beautiful contrast. Just like so. Just gonna get in there as far as I can. I like working with the pro polish pad first. It gives me an idea of where I'm going before I hit it with anything else. But you can see there. Let's come in a little closer so you can see, have a great view of what I'm doing. Isn't that cool? Okay, brass brush it. See, like, I see a bit too much darkness down here, so I'm going to brass brush that. So who's joining me tonight for Wine on Wednesday? I know, can you believe it? It's been a month. We're here again. The word is again. But we're still having fun. I'm ready for a little break this evening, hanging out. If you're looking for the link, it is on the Q Talk Facebook page. So I have some bleeding down here. You can see that. So I'm just going to clean it off first, and then I'm going to hit it with my polisher. So Andy says it's pretty quiet today. That's because, you know what? We don't have much going on. It's a nice day. So I see here a question, no steel wool. You can use steel wool. I'm opting for not doing steel wool today because I wanted this really nice high polish, and that's where that is. But you can use the brass brush instead of steel wool if you're just doing the preliminary polish too. Okay. YouTube. Andy says he doesn't see the comment. I see you on YouTube. And no, I don't have an ultrasonic cleaner. I just haven't spent the money on it. I don't know. I can't seem to justify it quite yet. All right, so let me put my glove back on here. And, I have tools, but yet I don't use them. What the heck? I use them, but I don't use enough of them. There we go, a wood mandrel. It saves your hands. I'm going to pull out just a little bit. There we go. You can see that the polishing compound is embedding into my muslin wheel. And I'm just going to hit this and get it to a nice, pretty. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see that. There is a difference between that left one and that right one. I don't know why I didn't do this before. It's pretty. So here I'm just going to hit everything really nice. And I realize it is getting black again, but that's from the compound. That's not from oxidation. And this will bring up that silver to be really nice and bright. Yeah, see that? So pretty. If you have any questions, do shout out. Andy is looking for your questions and relaying them to me if you're wondering how I'm doing this. He's my buddy in my ear here, telling me everything you guys are saying. Not really. He's just telling me your questions. He doesn't tell me your comments necessarily. Okay, so again, a lot of people when you do this get really concerned because it's just getting darker and darker. It's just polish. It's basically dirt, okay? Basically. It's oxidation plus the polishing compound, blah, blah, blah. So you just want to make sure you hit it really well, and then we're going to wash it off. See that? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So everywhere that you want a high polish, you want to hit it. Okay. And that's it. Cool. I'm looking for where I might have missed a few spots. There it is. If you give me a minute, I will go wash it. And then I forgot. I didn't bring any water today, so I'm gonna go wash it in the sink. But before you go, and before I go, let me just mention that today's Wednesday, so why no Wednesdays tonight? On Saturday, we're doing the Zoom instead of the Friday. Just remember that if you are Zooming along, or not Zooming along, but if you're joining us for the band together Zoom on Saturday at 10 o'clock. And on Monday, we'll be back with Motley Metal, and we're doing the Zeppeli earrings. There we are. And then next week, we have a guest instructor. Janet Libby is going to do When Glass Meets Metal. That's pretty much for today, but if you want to hang out, give me 3 minutes. I'm going to go wash this, and I'll be right back and show you what the final outcome is. But I need a second to wash it in the sink, okay? Other than that, I'll see you at Wine on Wednesday. Be right back. Okay, so I heard that there was a question if that's full speed on the flex shaft, and the answer is no. That is more or less about medium speed, but not all the way, okay? Medium to high, but not all the way. Okay, so I thought I'd bring this back and show you guys here. Got a little bowl of water and a little too much soap, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So you see all that black stuff again was really just the polish, and the soap and water got it off pretty easily. You can see there's still a little bit there that it's on my towel. All right. Let's zoom in and take a look. There it is. What do you think? I think it's pretty cool. So, if you want to learn how to make the ring, virtuallyevercrafting.com. If you need to buy some of the bits and pieces, it's at the Urban Beater. But that's polishing. You know, if you don't get this really pretty polish that you see here, and if things are not as pretty as they should be, that's because you didn't give enough time to it. Polishing and finishing does take time, and until you give the time to it, it won't look great. You know, it's just the nature of what it is. And you know, I love taking the time out to do finishing work because of the end result, like here. So this is the newest piece coming up for, I think, April or May, and I took the time out just to polish it and finish all the ends and things and just make it really nice and smooth so that the imperfections are taken out. And even though this is a very simple piece, sometimes I'll spend an hour and a half just finishing it to make it look great. So hope you like that. And outside of that, we will see you. That's it for me today. I'll see you at 4:30 at Wine on Wednesday. If you're looking for that Zoom link, again, it is on the Q Talk Facebook page. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and we will see you later.